All right. Are you there, Santos?
Yeah, man.
Outstanding.
Yo.
Yo, yo.
Yeah.
Did we get to see your
Right.
smiling face?
Oh, well, that's what I'm trying to do. What's going on?
I don't know. Let me see.
Oh, right. Yeah. I had to press no wonder.
There
Okay.
we are. Heidi, Heidi
So
ho.
I haven't seen myself.
You can't see yourself?
I can't. No, I can't see myself.
Can you see me?
Yep. You're on the right, and there's nothing on the.
Well, I can see
Oh
you.
shit! You have to
I
change the camera.
I can see you. Everyone can see you. Yeah. Let me see if I switch it over. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're both there.
Geez, I'll be good to be able to see me though, man. Whether this is enough light or what.
Let's see.
I
Well,
don't. I'm
there we
going.
are.
Oh, there's plenty of light. Okay, can't you leave that on like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at you, you beautiful Aries.
Ah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We've got a good bird.
We made it on the 24th still, despite the resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yes, sir. We yeah, it was a journey.
for sure.
With the strike finally lifted, they dragged that out. They dragged out your strike as long as they could, I guess, before we could get back on here.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I don't know what to expect. This could even get us a strike, and I wouldn't be surprised. And that's why I say to people, just record everything from now on,
Straight up.
because this is probably one of the most important subjects right now. I have to eat because eating is very, 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 very crucial to the ascension process. If not, you can't. There's no uh, room for getting this wrong. There's no more room. There's no margin. You have to. Diet is ascension.
It's true. I mean,
I've
being
been teaching
yep,
since 15 years.
it is. It is. I
Yeah.
mean, even being raised in a lot of the Eastern sciences with the yogic practices, so many of those gurus ate garbage. A lot of the Eastern diet is just super processed, tons of oils, really just overcooked food. And I remember growing up seeing different yogis, even Paramahansa Yogananda, who's one of the more integral to me still, who hasn't been, had a big old belly and was just, I'd see some of these yogis that existed before, let's say, like, oh my gosh, like Babaji, you'd see these, they looked all lean and cut and their body was a beautiful reflection of their practices. And then I'd see these modern day yogis, just big old bellies. I mean, even Yogi Bhajan, he used to make his students eat one diet, and then he'd sneak off to my friend owned a convenience store over in New Mexico, and he'd go buy sweets and eat all the chocolates and stuff like that. It was like the food was never incorporated and included as part of the practice, and that was always a red flag for me.
Yeah, man. There's no cheating. We can't afford to, otherwise we will not get on the right timeline. Everything all the subjects that I love, like it's all about salvation, and this is crucial. Eating flesh is something that non-humans do, and this is the vampires that have infested our planes. They've taught they've taught us society to it's all right to eat chickens and pigs, and they're turning us into blood addicts, animal traffickers. Animals are somebody. They are somebody because they have a body.
It makes sense. I mean, the phrase
And
that I
it's
was,
serious.
yeah. I mean, it was always like you eat life, you add to the life of the cells. You eat death. Whether anything that even vegetables you can make dead, you can cook the life out of. And so I think that's why I got fascinated with this emerging practice of eating food that wasn't cooked over 117 degrees or processed over 117 degrees, so it kept its enzymatic integrity. It kept all of its enzymes. And then I started to study more and learned that you have an enzymatic reservoir in your pancreas, and I believe 80% of your enzymes your body expects is going to come from your food. So when you're eating any dead food, even vegetables that you overcook, your body has to use more enzymes from your enzymatic reservoir, from your pancreas, to break it down. And all those enzymes could be used for other things: your skin, your hair, your nails, other body processes. And so overall, most of us are enzymatically depleted, you know? And so you could take the pressure off your pancreas and start getting more enzymes from your food. And that always seemed like a no-brainer to me, you know?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Hey, and before we start, I have to tell you that my assistant will be coming soon. I don't know where. Sometimes it comes. What's the time? Yeah, anytime between 5 and 6. So you could be knocking on the door right now. So in such a case, just keep talking and have the camera just on you, and I'll just say, I'll put my hand up and say, I'll just depend my.
Okay.
And then I'll come back. It'll only be 5 minutes.
Roger that. Yeah, I mean, we planned to do this show way earlier, and even our promo was for earlier, but we kept waiting for YouTube to lift his strike so we could do lives, and they dragged it out as long as they could. So, well, you wanna get in and take a look at the book right now? Should we dive in and take a look at some of it?
Yeah, bro. So, let's share your screen. Is that what we're going to do? And just check
here.
out all the.
Yeah, I could do it right here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got it there and there. Boom. So let me see. Okay, so I can still see you. Can you see me?
Yep.
So, just a little backstory. And I want everyone to know, we were up. My team and I were up till 4 a.m. getting the digital copy ready for everyone. This is so those that pre-order and get this book. And just so you know, I'm honored to have the first release of this book be with Santos on the network to this beautiful community. But you will be seeing you will be the first eyes seeing this book in almost 20 years of its development. We were up till 4 a.m. getting the final edits done and the final versions done, and even my publisher will be up till potentially 4 to 5 a.m. even as you pre-order the book, because we've been working on the back end with the website, which is right here. You guys can check out at livingfoodscookbook.com. When you order it, we had an automated email that says thanks for purchase and that, so we couldn't get that fully dialed for whatever reason. So she's going to be like personally sending you emails to everybody that actually gets this. She said she's going to stay up till 5 a.m. if she has to make sure everybody gets a personal thank you email to and your link to be able to get the copy of this book. So it's just weird. As I've been finishing the book, I'm remembering how long of a journey it was. I actually first wrote the book staying up at night when my older two kids were little. They were like 2 and 4, and the only time I had to work on it was at nighttime. So I would stay up through the night and work on it, putting together the recipes, writing the chapters for it. And it's just been, it's been such a long journey, and I kind of shelved it for almost 10 years. And I'm glad I did, because a lot has come out in the living foods field around things like cashews, which were a staple that we used for making our creamy alternatives to the mucous membrane of a cow. So then we found out that cashews were actually very undigestible, and a lot more came out about cashews and the neurotoxin in cashews, which we explore in the book itself. And so we switched over to coconut and this amazing bioavailable food source that we're actually working on building a company and national brand to be able to get you guys pre-made raw coconut creams to be able to make a lot of the recipes from. But this book's had so many faces to it, and I'm just honored to dive in and share with you guys. Take you through a little exploration of what the book really is and what it's about. And I wanted to write something after, and I was telling you, Santos, I bought so many living foods books, and I found the recipes weren't accurate and there wasn't enough pictures. And already when you're trying something new, even for me, as I was a traditional chef first before I got into living foods, and took the journey of becoming vegan for close to 9 years at the time. And as I got into it, I still saw a lot of cooked recipes with vegan foods, that lots of oils and just lots of overcooking, and just cooking. And so I was blessed to be around some amazing living foods chefs in LA. And I took my culinary artistry side into the living foods realm, the raw food side, where normally you get a lot of raw food chefs or raw foodists that learn to make the food because they become raw food chefs. I was a chef coming in and kind of reverse engineering it. So, and I saw a lot of things that I was, like we could do better, like the concept for pizza or burgers. The concept, these are all just concepts. They can be made of whatever, just like milk can be made from almonds or macadamia nuts. It doesn't have to be made from the mucus of a cow. It's a concept. And so I've never been able to digest dairy. It's never been something that I could really digest. So I always needed an alternative in that regard. So I wanted to make a book that was just, there was everything every other living foods cookbook wasn't. So I wrote a superfood dictionary and we put that in there, and I wanted to make an urban spice guide. So we created an urban spice guide that shows the medicinal and the culinary side. I did a deep dive on proteins, and because there's so much about protein that people have a misunderstanding around. And so we put in a deep dive into that and looking at different measurements of protein compared to animal proteins to non-animal proteins, and kind of left no stone unturned, along with an integration to like, what tools do you need to make this food? And so let me see if I can switch it over to, I can just keep scrolling. Keep going on this. And we put these little icons in to be able to mark the different tools that you'd need. So every one of the recipes has little icons. So as you learn them, you can kind of see, I'm making some garbanzo bean free hummus. I need these 3 tools, and take you through the basics of sprouting, how to sprout, soak times for things, different sprouting methods. And then this is, to me, one of my favorite things, Santos, is if you are into living foods and you want to have live tostadas all the time, you got to time out and schedule out your process. So if you're making a batch of 15 tostadas and you're down to 4 tostadas, you should be starting your next batch of tostadas so that by the time they're dehydrated and you're eating your last tostada, you have a whole other batch of tostadas that are fresh and ready to go. And that's where there was a lot of living food guys. One of them, dear friend of mine, he was just like militant. He always had food ready. He always had the next batch of nuts coming out that he dehydrated and flavored with herbs. He was finishing the last batches. And I kind of really was inspired by that. So I created the concept of a schedule that you can keep track of. So you always make sure you have the food that you like in the book. And this one, I thought you'd like this one. This is the herb and spice guide. So you can check out just some beautiful pictures of, one of my favorite things, the art of spice. But check it out. So you have both the flavor characteristics as well as the medicinal benefits of every herb and spice. Now, I can't say all of them, and I kind of say in the beginning of the chapter that, you know, this is not a all-inclusive. This is as many as we could collect, but I've never seen an herb and spice guide that includes both the medicinal and the flavor profiles when you're cooking with something. So you want to cook with allspice, you can see that it's got specific characteristics for flavor that you can use for both savory and sweet dishes, and it's also anti-inflammatory and has an anti-flatulent aspect to it. It helps with coughs. It's antifungal, antibacterial. And I felt like it really merged the concept of flavors and what food truly should be for you, which is medicine. So we worked diligently and got as many beautiful pictures to formulate and familiarize you to herbs and spices, and A to Z, or I think our last one on here is wasabi. We take you through, the profiles, the flavors, and the medicine of herbs and spices.
Beautiful. Wow. Real food. These are real foods because they haven't been altered genetically. No, they come from the creator and they've got magnetic force, a la Dr. Sebi.
100%. And it's like, I felt like this was just, even, you know, the fact that you can have the digital version of it, you could take it with you and travel. It's just like a reference guide for you. If you come across herbs and spices that are, you know, you're not used to, they're in an unfamiliar place, you know, you're introduced to new ones. And you have a reference guide to understand them. I learned so much putting this together. I thought I knew herbs and spices, but like, yeah. Some of the medicinal qualities, like nutmeg. This is a good one. I didn't know the medicinal benefits of nutmeg till I dove in, and I didn't know it was a brain booster. It helps with cardiovascular. It's an antiseptic, and it helps on a respiratory level. So so this is one of my favorite chapters, right here, the herbs and spices, diving in. Let's see if I can get it. Show the sidebar. This will help me like cruise a little faster to be able. So then we went into a superfood dictionary, diving deep into superfoods. So that was the next thing I thought. You know, we're always incorporating superfoods. Why would we not put superfoods into this? And so we take you through the concept of superfoods, what makes them super: antioxidants, flavonoids, carotenoids, vitamins, dietary minerals, enzymes, probiotics, and then we dive into fully, you know, all aspects of let's say acai berries, from acai berries to aloe vera, blueberries to cacao, A to Z, same thing, just as much of a foundational reference. Now there's more superfoods coming out each day. I already had to update a lot since I originally wrote this. And Santos, you're gonna love this. Specifically, you know, I wasn't gonna create a superfood dictionary without putting in uropathy, Shimbavu, right? It's a superfood. Has to go in the superfood dictionary. Put the shungite in there. It is right here. Had to put the uropathy in there, right? I mean, you know, even just for little Harry. Yeah. This is my dedication to little Harry, the pea wizard. But we put in the website. There's a full website that a bunch of top doctors have put together that shows you all of the science behind uropathy and the power of it. So, but yeah, I really tried to include everything, you know, into this to make it whole. And then the art of tonic alchemy became one of the next things I dove into. So we put a full tonic alchemy manual, how to make your own essences to flavor tonics. These are tonic formulas I've developed over the years. How to make tea bases, how to brew your own kombucha, and do ferments, just everything. And then our own formulated recipes for what we call tink shots, which are little concentrated tonic tinctures, basically, that we base a lot of our tonics off of at Mandala Living Foods. Yeah, and then our tonics, you know, all the formulas. I'm excited to share with you guys. And then comes the gourmet cookbook. This is something that I'm, you know, from smoothies, just tons of pictures. Yeah, my favorite smoothie recipes. I thought you'd like these, Santos. Rocking it on this. Yeah.
I have smoothies. I smoothie every day.
I know. I watched your video. I watched your video, your smoothie video. I was like, oh yeah. The video, the live you shot on smoothies.
Yeah, well, the thing with smoothies is never to blend more than 30 seconds, because you're bringing in too much oxygen into that food, and it'll oxidize, and it'll just, you can't keep it in the fridge for the next day like I do.
Yep.
So I always do 20 seconds cut off.
I like my smoothies chunky. I do.
Mm.
I'm not a fan of the super pureed smoothie. That's just like a baby food kind of a thing. I like some grit in my smoothie. I like to have the real chunks of the stuff in there I can kind of crunch on as I go. That's my personal preference always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then this was my, you know, as someone who can't process the mucous membranes of cows, like a good majority of humanity, and primarily, if you don't know, that's because we don't produce lactase, which is the enzyme to break down the lactose. We produce it when we're younger, but then we stop producing it. So there's a very small percentage of people that actually can still produce it, but most of us don't. So even if you don't think you're lactose intolerant, you know, you are, because you're not supposed to be breaking that down. You don't have the enzyme for it. So this was my kind of thesis for what I saw the most significant aspect of the vegan diet was for me, which was the dead mucous membrane of the cow. And you know, not only does it is the proteins like giant. We have our human fat globule proteins are tiny. Cows are massive. It just overwhelms the body. It makes you more acidic. And then your body's natural process is to leach calcium from your bones, because that's where the source of calcium comes from. So the whole, I mean, it's really deceptive. They tell us drink, you know, cow mucus for strong teeth and healthy bones, when it actually raises your acidity and it leaches it from your bones. And that's why America is the largest consumer of dairy and the largest sufferer of osteoporosis, weakening of the bones.
Yep. It's all about lies, brother.
Yeah.
Essentially, this book is a book of truth, and there's only Kurukshetra and the Gotchadamaroon and Armageddon. All of these battles we wage against the lie. Simple. You know, from the beginning, was the liar, the deceiver, from the beginning. And so it's not essentially evil or good, but it's the truth. The lie is that humans, I don't know whether there's artificial humans. A lot of people talk about Dracos and reptilians that are manifesting as humans. I don't know about them. We know that there's, they even do such things as cannibalism. You go to a restaurant anywhere in Los Angeles and you can get, nice human flesh and dine there with some wine and friends. But essentially, all of that is humans are not predators. We're not humans are not predators. We pick berries. We don't like to hurt and harm. I mean, neighbours don't. You don't like it when your neighbour jumps over the fence and kills your dog. That's not cool.
No, that's because we have some association to dogs almost as somehow separate, but it's sentient, of course. Who wants this sentient creature to be murdered by your neighbor, let alone, any sentient creature, if you will. So I like how you called it the Garden of Eden diet.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I do the Garden of Eden diet. We'll give fruits and we'll give it herbs. And I don't see why we really, really need to eat so much. I mean, less and less and less.
Same.
You just have to go to them a lot more. And what are these sewage treatment farms about? They never once existed. And every day, more and more of those are being opened up, and they treat sewage treatments. I mean, what is that? And then in Western countries, they give it back to you in the water that you shower in. Now, we could eliminate all of these industries. They're all false industries that are preying on us because we're preying on animals. If we've got, carcass in our fridge, well, we're animal traffickers. We're somebody traffickers. That's a body in your fridge. You've got bodies in your freezers. They're dead bodies, and they're dead. They're freaking dead. Whereas look at these, nuts and vegetables. It just makes sense. Well, they're upside down, but you can't see them.
I can see you.
Huh?
I can see you. Your video's working. Oh, it delayed there. It froze up. There he is.
Hey, sorry, man. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, but I'm not on camera, right?
No, we can see you.
Oh, okay, because I've been walking around and stuff. I'm so sorry, brother.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Okay.
No,
Did you hear what I said, though?
I did. I heard all of it. Yep.
You got everything up until 3 seconds ago, yeah?
Yep.
All right. We'll continue on then.
Yeah.
I said my piece.
Yeah, no, it's and you're right, and that's the aspect of it that I think there's, if we look at a de facto satanic matrix, meaning you're in it whether you don't get that you are or not, comes from just intergenerational ignorance and desensitization to how far we've fallen from living a higher, more divine path that is syncretic with our environment, with our bodies. I mean, I've been eating less myself. I just feel like even about 3 years ago, I just got this intuitive thing to stop eating as much. And so I don't really eat till later in the day. I kind of fast through the day and my body just wants to. And after a while, your stomach naturally shrinks anyways. And so you have to eat less. We tend to stretch out our stomach when we fill it with 3 meals a day. Then that empty cavernous space needs to be filled more and more. So it becomes this bottomless pit of feeding, That's why sometimes I'll just have some of these kind of like nut milks through the day. Like for the first portion of the day, I'll have like some macadamia nuts, one of my favorites, and I'll just sip on some milk through the first part of the day. And it's just like liquid nutrition. I'll flavor it with some rose or geranium or something, and I'm sustained and I'm good, I feel like I have more energy.
I'm eating a lot of indigenous fruit here,
Mm.
and wonderful. It's vitalizing, especially the unas. These prickly pears.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, I have about 10 of these a day.
Oh, really? How do you eat
And a
them?
few bananas that must be.
Do you eat them just fresh, or do you do anything with them? I know there's a few different things you can process them into like a salsa or pickle them.
No, I'll just eat them like my father used to have these. The Italians call them fighi d'India, which means figs from India.
Wow.
Okay, so my father, being Calabrian, when I grew up in Australia, he had an orchard. We had every known plant. I grew up with this culture. This is not something that I'm doing as a cool idea. I grew up with orchard. We would pick, and we had prickly pears. We had these in orange and red. I used to love the red ones, but here they're nowhere near as sweet as the ones in Victoria, Australia, that my father had on his farm. But how you eat them is just like this. Pull the skin open, like that.
Wow.
So hydrating.
Wow.
Mm.
What's the texture of those like?
Yeah. Oh, this one's delicious. It's very sweet.
Wow.
But we don't need to strain the digestive system with such traumatized foods.
Right.
There's no way. And see, for people to just turn a blind eye to something about animals and just think that when they're having 1-year-old tender veal, or 3-day-old tender veal with their wine, there's no way that suffering didn't go into that, the butchering of that animal. There's just no way. But where did suffering with this?
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know how to really even address the veal thing. That's or who just came up with that idea even. Yeah.
How that is acceptable is beyond me, my friend, beyond me. The mothers, I had lived near I don't know what it was because I was there temporarily. But it was like a place where all the cows go that have just had their veals, their calves taken away. And there was this special paddock near where I was sleeping, and I could hear the mothers crying all through the night. The cows were just crying all night long, agonizingly, like hell. If I tuned into it and listened to every single cow, it's like, that's hell. Those cows are not happy. No. And then they go to the other part, and their little veals, their little lambs, scared, tender. Just all they want to do is play with mummy and grow up and see what it's like, what life's all about. But no, someone got gluttonous and decided that they just want to snuff out that soul. Well, whereas these fruits and these foods, they were given to us by God in the Garden of Eden. And that's the diet. It's the Garden of Eden diet. And they live longer than we did. They try and say that life expectancy and longevity has increased because of blah, 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 blah. And it hasn't. It's decreased. Everything's upside down and alive, guys. Everything. Anyway, Micah, keep going, because those...
I'm with you. I'm with you on the inversion. And it's kind of it's again what those that are in opposition to the divinity of this world, they invert things. They invert things from from God's intention and the true nature of it. And I guess that's yeah, that's why I saw a lot of the foods that people feel like they're missing out on if they transition to a Garden of Eden diet. I wanted to start replicating dishes to you know, that I was trained traditionally as a chef, so I knew all of the structure and constitutes. So I wanted to replicate everything from, you know, because I saw the compromise of overprocessed glutinous stuff, and the gluten aspect with breads and pastas. So replicating pastas, replicating sauces. This is actually our little sauce section. But I wanted to recreate another one, garbanzo beans. We came up with an amazing garbanzo bean free hummus. It's amazing. It's just tahini and zucchini that acts as a substitute. And then all the other seasonings that make hummus. It's so easy to make, and a lot of people can't digest garbanzo beans. So it's one of my favorites is the garbanzo bean free hummus. Raw fried beans. I used to love raw fried beans, but they would do a number on my stomach. Beans, magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you literally toot, because you can't break down the constitutes that are in beans. You can't break down a lot of the starches, a lot of the aspects of the proteins. So we came up with a raw fried beans made with pepitas. And as you know, I'm sure you love pepitas. I'm sure you love the pumpkin seeds. So you soak them, you puree them, and then from there it's all about spices. Really, everything I saw came down to how you flavored it. You know, if you just eat a burger with no seasoning, it just tastes like bland, dead animal tissue, you know? So you put seasoning on it to make it taste like whatever you want it to. So you can do that with anything. And that's where I started to get into, like, how can we make live breads and crackers and things, but primarily, how can I come up with a dough? Because I don't like these flaxseed cracker buns. I'd be trying some live burger somewhere, and it was just like a veggie patty on 2 pieces of thick, dense flaxseed toast. And I was like, this is not giving me the burger experience that these people get to enjoy. So how do I make dough? So we came up with a way to make some actual dough. These are actually our burger buns. They're squishy. They have a doughy consistency to them, like a real bun, with no gluten and completely digestible. Same with the taco shells. I wanted to try to replace the corns, not very digestible. So we came up with a way to make tostadas and taco shells with more digestible replacements. And then I started just checking off the list of my favorites, from pad thai, pastas, lasagna. How can we evolve these? How can we refine? And, you know, so I started to come up with a dough. So we came up with everything from French toast to cake, unbaked cake, literally like fluffy, real moist cake. And we used nut pulp and coconut and psyllium husk and we as a binding agent, and we actually kind of reverse engineered how to make cake by pressing it into cake molds, and then we refrigerate it, and it makes this moist, dense, or fluffy. I found a way to range it if I wanted to make more of like an angel food cake, or if I wanted to make like a rich chocolate lava cake or cinnamon buns. We came up with a way to replicate it. Here's our burger. Looks pretty meaty, huh? Those are undehydrated, by the way. So those are going into the tray right there. Here's one of our finished ones right there. But they're red inside. They're red inside from the beets. So, you know, it's pretty amazing how you can replicate things and make them taste amazing. We came up with a meatloaf. I just started copying things. Sloppy Joes. You like Sloppy Joes? Came up with a way to copied it, improved it, evolved it. You know, because a lot of these things you eat and they feel heavy. So walnut carne is one of my favorites for tacos, tostadas. We came up with a way to make a replacement of carne using walnuts. Amazing superfood for the brain. Came up with a version of Italian sausage. Obviously, mushroom burgers are awesome. Coconut bacon. Like there was a way to replicate everything that I saw that people eat and evolve it, refine it, clean it up, and it became kind of like, a challenge for me that I liked. And then this is one of my favorites. I think this is one that I think you'd really love. And when I was saying I don't eat till later in the day, something like this. This is a green goddess soup. It's one of my favorites. I'll usually make like a big pitcher of it and just have a bowl of it. And the protein base is sprouted mung beans, which is just one of the cleaner proteins you can take on. And yeah, I'll have a bowl of this, and I'm just good through the day. Just it's one of my favorites, one of the cleanest nutritional sources right here. This is one of my favorite recipes to share actually with you and with everybody, is the green goddess soup. And yeah, so it just started replicating everything from breakfasts. We call it heel fast, not break fast. And then what we call in Hawaii pupus, which are appetizers. So we started to come up with everything from pizza to the pastas, Garden Island toast, sushi. I came up, we have a lot of, unfortunately, diabetes is a really big one here in Hawaii because the diet here is garbage. Unfortunately, because when they got colonized here, what do you think, once they had their culture taken away from them, what do you think was influencing them? Television. So unfortunately, you see in Hawaii, a lot of the stuff I'm grossed out by American society, the big trucks, football, alcoholism. I mean, for crying out loud, they still like Spam here. The McDonald's here serve Spam because when they came here, they impressed the tribal people because they would have to catch their food, right? They'd have to catch their meat source and they'd hunt it and they'd pray over it and everything. And they went, wow, wait, there's just meat in this can. We don't have to, this is magical. There's just meat in a can. And so still to this day, culturally, they still think it's magical and they still have it here. You can get Spam here on the side. So my point is that the diabetes is very prevalent here. And so a lot of local aunties and uncles, they can't even have sushi anymore. So we came up with a sushi, because the rice, it boosts the glycemic levels. So we came up with a rice that's made from cauliflower and coconut. And we use, again, psyllium husk, which is a great digestive cleanser, as a binding agent. And we make this amazing sushi sticky rice. And it's just, if you're diabetic, you can have rice again. And it's not just for the sushi. You can put it in, pad thai, rice bowls, whatever. But I found a beautiful receptivity to the local people here being open to these healthy alternatives when we opened our cafe here. Here's actually a plethora of dishes. You can see a plate of the sushi and one of our pastas, pad thai in the corner over there. So I'm all about, recreating healthy alternatives, the nachos, tostadas. I enjoyed the concept of all of these foods. I just didn't like how I felt after I ate them. So, how can we evolve this? Food is a concept. And don't get me started on desserts, okay? The desserts this is what's up. So I told you about that cake. Look at this. This is a chocolate cake. Fluffy, dense, rich, frosted, everything from apple pie, because I love sweets, but I hated the sweet side being a glycemic, overwhelming force in my system. So I found a way. All of these desserts are sugar-free. We found a way to make desserts sugar-free. This is a amazing blue algae, we call it the blue dream pie. It's got mugwort essence in it, really powerful for your dreams. Neat thing about the desserts is you can eat them for breakfast. That was my favorite thing about living foods. You can eat live food desserts you can eat for breakfast because they're full of nutrition. You still get that kind of dessert sweetness, but it's not from sugar. So it doesn't boost your glycemic levels, and it's nothing but fuel. This is our New York style cheesecake, one of my favorites. Flourless lava cake, made completely from nut pulp, psyllium husk, and coconut. Strawberry shortcake. I really kind of just went crazy once I learned I could make cake, and we kind of innovated this concept for cake. I started to just replicate it in every way that I could. And we have something called taro here. I'm sure you're familiar with taro. The root, it's, I think you're on mute. Oh, there we go. Hang on.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I was on mute. Yes, I'm aware of it.
So they take the taro and they make poi, which is like a fermented, kind of like root yogurt almost. And so we came up with a way to make these poi pies. They're just they're magical. Love them so much. Everything, you know, who doesn't love pumpkin pie? You don't have to have it made with eggs and dairy. You know, we can make it with that's just as beautiful and rich. And we put mandala stencils into a lot of our pies. We press them in there. It's kind of, again, food's art for me. You know, that's why I called this book it's art and science. And of course, you know, cacao is amazing. So much of our chocolate is unfortunately just mutilated with garbage and preservatives. So I wanted to always create, you know, healthy alternatives for chocolate and all the favorites. So yeah, I'm honored to share this book. I know I kind of scrolled through it really fast. It's over 350 pages. It became kind of a living foods Bible, and my, you know, my loving thesis for how to incorporate food as medicine. And I love the way you described it as the Garden of Eden diet, because I see that. I see and feel the purification of that, you know?
Yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful. I've never seen such a beautiful cookbook. Absolutely, I love looking at really nice vegan cookbooks, but you know what, cookbooks. But
Uncook
this
book.
this is the best. This is the best by far, man. This is the best book I've ever seen.
Well, I'm honored to share it. Truly honored to share it with you and with everybody. And I feel like these kinds of things, yeah. You know, this book's for my children. You know, I'm leaving this book as a guide for them. You know, for little ones in this world to have a reference point of healing, of truth, of what it is to have a relationship with food as medicine. And yeah, it's an honor to, you know, to share that. I'm excited for you to dive
Yeah,
in and
wow.
start playing with it. I'm excited. I'm excited to, you know, to hear back and from people and that are exploring and getting into different recipes that they resonate with. You know, I'm excited to hear feedback of how people evolve and modify the recipes that we've created, because that's also part of the exploration of creation and art is, you know, refining it, evolving it. And I think that's why I put the superfood chapter in, so you could look up superfoods and add them to these smoothies and play with that, you know, and apply it in a customization for your diet, for your health, and for your wellness.
Hey, Mike, did you set this up so that callers could call in and ask you questions?
Um, I don't think we have a call in set up like you guys did at Syncretism. I don't know how they could call in. I wish I wish they could. And I actually, we had, unfortunately, Emery had to go. She couldn't be on the chat to be answering questions. Oh wow.
All right. Well, I'll check on my phone if there's any questions from people while you're going. But you're definitely going to keep going, right? Okay.
Yeah, no, 100%. Actually, I just realized thank you. I had two cameras on. Sorry about that, everybody. Didn't realize that was the case. It's been a journey for us to get this going today, and rightfully so. Sometimes, you know, there's great resistance for big things that we're doing in this world that are going against this system that all of us work so hard to expose. And yeah, so it's oh yeah, here, check this out. So this is the website for anybody that's interested, livingfoodscookbook.com. That's how you can find access to this. It pops up with a window and just kind of takes you through everything, what the book is, the 5 books that in one really that it is, and my journey and story and what you'll learn. And we're going to be doing a lot of virtual instructional classes, showing you how to make milk and cookies from one ingredient, things that are functional and practical. Yeah, but you can check out everything here. It takes you in depth through the book itself, and what is in the book. Everything I've kind of done a little scroll through, everything from the Superfood Dictionary to the Urban Spice Guide, Tonic Alchemy, the brewing of the kombucha, and all the different recipes that are incorporated into this life manual, really, that we've really worked so hard on. And we're doing a special thing right now for pre-orders, because the book, you can get it both digitally or which I recommend for sure to have the digital copy, because you can just have access to it on your devices to travel with, you name it. It just makes it more versatile. But we are doing a full, like 8.5 by 11 color giant hard copy book that's going to be beautiful and everything I always dreamed this book would be almost 20 years ago. So we're doing a special for pre-orders right now for a period of time, where you get, when you purchase the hard copy book, we gift you the free digital copy. And so before your book arrives for you that you ordered, you get access to the digital copy right away. So you can start exploring the recipes and healing with this life manual for food medicine right off the bat. So, and then past the certain window we're doing for pre-orders, then you can purchase the digital copy individually if you want, or if you want to purchase a hard copy, or you can purchase both. But we're doing this gift to everybody who's been super supportive and excited about this book and everything we've been doing for a limited time. We're doing it where if you get the hard copy, we gift you the digital copy. And like I said, that's the one I end up using the most, obviously, because I can just have it on my iPad. In fact, I'm excited. We're opening our Living Foods Cafe actually on Friday. So it was very synchronistic how the book launch happened, and then we're opening the first Living Foods Cafe here on Kauai. Since unfortunately we had some agent of darkness, if you will, light our kitchen on fire about 5 years ago. Somebody burnt our kitchen. And after we were open for about 8 months serving food in the community and free food, because we have a program called the Prosperity Movement, where if you don't have any money or any food, we offer a free bowl of food to anybody. And so we served over 1,000 bowls of free food to people in need before, unfortunately, somebody burnt our kitchen down, and we rebuilt it over the last year. Unfortunately let it sit for about 5 years. I had a burnt kitchen I had to stare at for 5 years, and then we rebuilt it, and we're reopening in Anahola on the Hawaiian homelands, and I'm very excited about it. So yeah, we're going to be serving this food. Our goal is to create a franchise of these Mandala Living Foods all over the country and other places. I'd love to have one in Mexico. I'd love to I have some friends and correspondents in Africa and other places that have opened up just from the film that I did release a while back, and they've seen what we're doing. They're like, yo, could we get one of these in Australia? Like, what's this? So our goal is to get a network of these living food cafes, because we also want to get this prosperity movement and serve these prosperity bowls all over the world, where we could have free food to people in need, and we can't get in trouble because it's built into the way we're doing it with the cafe, that we're serving them this prosperity bowl. So we can't get arrested like people have been at the park for serving homeless people food. It's on our menu. You can order it, and it's sponsored by local businesses that we engage to support this. And we give them a little seal called the Prosperity Seal they put in the window of their business that shows that they donated to these prosperity bowls. And so prosperity in a tribe is supposed to be shared. So that's why it's not a charity bowl. It's a prosperity bowl. So I'm excited about that movement, and we are doing some portion of donation for our book sales to the prosperity movement as well. And these are all just things that God guided me to do, to teach the people, heal the people, feed the people. So I'm just following orders at this point. Oh, engaging my greater faith, I got to say, because, Santos, I've had been blessed with a awesome practice in neuromuscular therapy. And honestly, the last thing I needed to do right now was open a cafe in this economy and start running a cafe and serving food. But, God really guided me that our food supply is under attack. And you know this. And so we now need more than ever healing conscious resources for food for people. So it's so important, and I see that, and so that's why I'm showing up. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, my brother.
So, Micah, from my so like the effect that this book gives me is that it really wants me to plead with humanity that is ready for this message that humans are not flesh eaters. We are frugivores. It's been proven over and over and over and over again. The lie is that we need flesh to stay alive. That is a lie. It is a lie. It's not the truth. And it's not subjective truth either. It's not an opinion. Yeah, gluttony, gluttons will not, you will not enter God's kingdom. You'll never go to that place that you think you're going to. You'll end up somewhere else, unfortunately, because all the scriptures condemn flesh eating. Even the Bible does. When it talks about you can eat animals that haven't got their foot, their hoof poisons, and pigs, and you can't eat these animals. But the Jewish scholars of the 10th century, back in Spain, like the great ones like Moses ben Maimon, he taught that this is not literal. This is not talking about literally eating animals, because thou shalt not kill cannot be cancelled. It can't be cancelled. So he explains. See, I've read all these Jewish books and Christian and the whole lot. It's all condemned. One must never kill an animal for sport, food, or pleasure. Bhagavad Gita condemns it so much that it says that you will have to reincarnate in their flesh. This is really, really serious, guys. So I just want to stress that the ones that are really pushing the blood diet, Dr. said he condemned it like root, blood, and what do you say? Blood and starch. Westerners are addicted to blood and starch. That's their staple. That's their diet. Like a spaghetti bolognese or a hamburger. That is blood and starch. And those poor trafficked animals. Here's a chance to use your own mind. Have use of your own mind. Don't listen to these people that say that flesh is okay, it's got iron, you need beef, you need chicken, and it's got all this and that. These guys are lying to you, and all they're doing is they're perpetrating the lie that the vampires in human skins are teaching us they are cannibals. The children of Cain, the cannibals, Baal, Cain and Baal, cannibals. So, and they are. Go to Hollywood, guys. So remember, humans do not eat blood. Humans are provable. If you're human, you will listen, you'll understand, and you'll get the point. If you're not, well, it's okay. That's fine. That's fine. No judgment. But I wish you all the best.
I would even add to it, the Western world's addicted to blood, starch, and sugar, huh? That's the other one, right? The addiction, yep. Like this, and then the sugars really and the starches feed the parasites and the fungus that's in them, and it's been proven that fungus can manipulate your own mind and psychology to perpetuate more, to feed it, to grow and continue growing inside of you. So, and that's in a sense kind of a zombification. It's a form of this zombieism, when you're driven by things growing inside of you, parasites and fungus that are directing what it is you're even eating. You're a slave to really possession, wouldn't you say? That, I mean, I've seen some pretty powerful decodes on demonic possession being based around parasites and fungus.
Yeah, brother. Look, you know, there's people that still think that we're. I just saw a comment there. I'm watching the comments, and there's a guy there saying, "Fancy, we're enlightened, and they're pushing the WEF vegan diet." Guys, all right. So, all right, we all know that that guy who made that comment is so marvelous stupid. Okay, so the rest of you understand that. The reason why the West vegan diet is not the diet we're promoting, we're not promoting any of that demonic Bill Gates different carbohydrates, not meats, and all of these corporations that are making vegan diets to fool vegans, to fool people. My
Oh, you froze up. There we go.
where did I get up to?
Talking about the corporations trying to manufacture and push the vegan narrative.
Yeah, because I saw that comment. I have to come close to the moment. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so how convenient it is. They always do this. And I believe that they're not human, and they're here. So I mean, they are into blood, and trafficking and people trafficking, and these, like this diet is to to be an answer to that. Friends, we don't have to participate. We've all been fooled. We've all done shit. We've all done stuff that we wish we never did, that through ignorance, like go and get certain medication that are testing experiments and things. There's many things that people have been fooled with, but we can absolutely change that. I've always felt that. I'm a great believer in the scriptures. I love the scriptures. And Jesus did say the kingdom of God is in you. So I figure then, I already know that. I used to believe that, but I know that. I know that the kingdom of God is within. I just know that. I have since I was a little boy, right? So, but that doesn't mean I've always lived that way, because I've been fooled, and we all have. But if the kingdom of God is within us, well, that means we don't really need anything without, because I wouldn't mind just the kingdom of God. That's all I need. If someone said, "What would you like? A brand new guitar and a Mercedes-Benz and a helicopter, or to live forever in the kingdom of God?" Entre. My assistant is here, so I'll just finish off and then you can finish.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, what would I pick? Well, I would pick the kingdom of God, because it's in you that Christ Jesus said that. Anyway, you can continue on, Micah, because I don't know, it might be 5 minutes, it might be 10.
All good. Yeah, I mean, I'm just grateful for that. Yeah, thank you for summing it up with that. And I'm even good to leave it on that. And we will set up so you guys can do a Q&A at some point, and love to have a more interactive discussion to come. And I'm grateful for that. And I just want to state that there is a very obvious push from the system and those that are part of this global control system for this distorted corporate veganism that's pushed, and it is riddled with things like these impossible burgers and the manufacturing of genetically modified vegetables that are destroying thousands of animals through the harvesting and in the name of veganism. And there's so many absurdities that are riddled with it. So I understand that aspect deeply, and I've looked into it, and I've hammered on it on my show. And I guess that's also why I still felt compelled to release this book, because this is an alternative to that. This is a rebellion against that. This is an engagement to you incorporating and making your own food, which is the most empowering thing that you can do. In fact, I used to, what is happening here? There we go. I used to, okay, wait a sec. Let me stop sharing that. Try that one more time. Here we go. And we'll go back to this. I used to have a friend, still have a friend, a brother of mine. And his thing was always, he would only eat food that he made himself. And he was so extreme about it. I used to find it somewhat alienating. But then I really got kind of the magic of, and the significance of him wanting to put his own vibration and eat the vibration of his own creation in the food. Because he saw the aspect of the vibrational aspect of food as medicine. And so my intention for this book was to create a manual that allows you to explore and create your own relationship, which I feel like is constantly being squashed out by our codependency to get our food processed already by somebody else. And that is something that that we need to change, because we need to start being our own source code for food, for nutrition. And that was my intention with this, with all the different recipes, with giving you some formulas to work from, to explore, to upgrade, to evolve yourselves. And that's always been our intention at Mandala Living Foods, and what we're about to start cranking on. I'm literally going to go leave this interview and continue prepping for our open on coming up on Friday. So I'm super honored to share this book with you guys. Truly, I'm honored to share it on Santos's platform and to this community, which I know has honor and respect for a diet of life and eating life, and the intention and ramifications of what it is to purify oneself. And really, we're only supposed to, at our highest state, Santos, did we not live off of just prana and energy and light? And it was really the fall into the denser material realm that we started to need this more tangible nutrition to digest from. So the return to the Christ, so the return to the Christ within is starting to break one of our greatest addictions that nobody identifies, which is food. Our addiction to food, to denser, lower frequency foods, to junk foods, to the sugars. And it's a gradual process. You don't have to be crazy extreme with it. I hope a lot of people will incorporate aspects of this book into their lives, whether they're vegan or not. They'll just start eating more living foods, and start exploring alternatives. You know, I love seeing people come to our cafe and have our burger and be like, wow, that tasted like a real burger I would eat. You know, so they see I don't have to lose out on anything. I don't have to lose out on anything to have things I like to eat, you know?
Yep, exactly.
And that was my goal. And I didn't want to be like, oh, this kind of tastes like a burger. Oh, this kind of tastes like cheesecake. I wanted to be like, whoa, that tasted like the best burger or cheesecake I've had. I don't care what it's made of. And to show you that you can create food from, if you're going to still have your relationship with food matter, which we all should be working on illuminating and lightening ourselves from our relationship with food. It's just a heavier thing. And we are in a time of great revelations where one should be going into fasts. I mean, isn't that one of the most powerful things in scriptures, when some of the depth of downloads from God through fasting, Santos? And you'd see like Jesus did a crazy fast. I mean, fasting is a beautiful thing. It kicks the body into a beautiful state where it starts eating its own toxic cells within itself. So it is an evolution to break your addiction to food, to what matters, to the 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons of the carbon matter. And so, but you don't have to be crazy extreme about it. But this is a beautiful bridge for you through this book, which is one of the reasons I wanted to create it. And I do refer to it as a life manual that I hope helps you.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Thank you very much for sharing this. I mean, it just staggers me how much you're achieving. You've got all that, the cafe now going. You've got this. You've been doing this book for years. You released the wonderful documentary called Release, which we got a strike for as well. I did as well. And now this staggering. Like, it's just.
And with 4 kids, and with 4 kids, right? And on top of it, somehow with 4 kids, man.
March 24th, Aries must have something to do with,
I mean, I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but I kind of think so. I mean, it's definitely not going to say that it's hurt anything in that regard. I would love to just, before we close out, just share, if possible, the cafe. Just what we've been building would be so cool. I have a little video I just shot the other day, guys, that I would love to. Let me see if I can move this bar. There we go. I'll move that up there. I'll show you our little cafe. Here we go. Get this up here. Let's see. And also, obviously, I'm still trying to rock the show, Santos, and point out as much of what's going on in the Matrix as possible. So check it out. This is a DJ performance stage that we created. Check it out and see what you guys think of. This is the stage. This is on Honolulu Marketplace in the Hawaiian homelands. Got a little kids playground area, community market table, and here's our cafe with our little bar stools, and it's I can't even describe how much it took to build this. What a journey it's been. Yeah, it's just a beginning. It's the first beacon. So it's been an honor and tested my everything to get to where I'm at. We're just getting started. So I'm just truly honored to share this, and with you, my brother. Obviously, on the 24th, we still fought through and did a 24th release. Oh, goodness.
From one Mars sign, Aries, to the other sign, Scorpio, both through Mars. So, and I noticed you have in your recipe book one that started with Ma. Yeah, I think you had a couple actually. I saw 2 Mars in there, and Mandela. Ma and Man. Same word, same meaning.
Right.
Adam means Mars.
Oh.
And that's why it's always the boy symbol on the toilet. It always will be. It's just.
I can't wait to see more of the decodes that you get from diving into this book myself. I'm excited for you to have a little journey in.
Well, I'm going to christen this book the Diet of the Stars. There you go. Diet of the Stars.
That's it.
It is. Because we're all stars. We have ancestors, youngster, sister, master, mobster, gangster, fraudster, jester, trickster, pastor, master, minister, superstar, rock star,
Right.
imposter, disaster. It's all stars, right? So, and we do have ancestors. So, yeah, this for me, this will be when I get into the recipes, of course. Diet of the stars. Thank you.
Appreciate you, truly.
Likewise, brother.
I'm grateful. We appreciate all of you tuning in, truly. And again, I'll let's see, where is it? Here it is. livingfoodcookbooks.com, livingfoodscookbook.com. The links are in the video if you guys want to check out more. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see the color printed version. That's going to probably be the most magical moment for me. I'm excited about. But we got this cookbook on the iPad in our kitchen, so we're cooking from it ourselves for our opening. So I just wanted to give you all of the formulas that God gave to me, that my children, my family, I've been feeding with for years. It was time. So it's an honor to share it with you all as family. And yeah, so grateful. Appreciate you all.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. I'll be doing it live.
Bless
on
up.
Restaurateur.
Bless up. All right, guys. Aloha.